Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lindsay Rice podcast. Today, I really want to talk to you about the concept of feeling whole and wholeness, which is literally a feeling of not needing anything outside yourself and feeling like you have every single thing you could need in this world inside of you. And sometimes it's hard to get there when we've come from a past that's made us feel less than, if there's parts of us that don't feel good enough, if there's parts of us that think and have believed for a long time that we need something outside of ourselves to feel good, to feel accomplished, to feel complete. And the idea of feeling whole, like really energetically whole, really comes back down to like healing and giving love to parts of you that feel fragmented, that don't feel aligned, don't feel like they fit and that everything is harmonious. So it's going from a place of, I am missing something. There is something not complete, not full here, to, I am complete. I am whole. I am everything that I've ever needed. And this experience I'm having, this world I'm living in, my perspective, all of this is abundant and filling me up with joy without having anything else other than me, myself, my heart, my mind, my soul. Remembering that we already were born as a complete being. And when we were born and we started to learn the world, started to receive love in different ways, started to understand dynamics and aspects in society and ways that our world operates, there are pieces of that that we can learn that don't actually fit with our authentic self. And so in that, we learn about ourselves and we look in the mirror and sometimes we start looking at ourselves like, maybe I'm not whole. Maybe I haven't achieved these things. Maybe I'm needing this thing that I learned I needed to make me feel better and to have a better life and to show up better. But the truth is, you were already whole when you were born. You had love, you had care, you had a world around you that was abundant in life and beauty and gifts. And it's up to us to start to see the world that way, and not even start, but go back to seeing the world that way. Remember how we can look at the world. And at times when we're younger, we also, as we start to develop our personality in ways that we've been taught to show up, there are parts of ourselves that we end up denying, that possibly our caretakers, our friends, people around us start mirroring back that these parts of us are not worthy, are not good, are not in line with what their expectation of us is. And it's so easy for us to like reject and hide away these parts of us that the world around us mirrored rejection on, that we were told was too loud, too obnoxious, too crazy of a dream, too out there. Yet we start to suppress these parts of ourselves and they stay suppressed. And this rejection of this part of us becomes our shadow. And Carl Jung is the one that named it the shadow. And his concept of what the shadow is these parts of us that we rejected, that we still reject to this day, that we have exiled and deemed it as something bad and negative. And these shadow parts stay unloved in our subconscious, in the way that we operate. And he talks about how the shadow ends up owning you. The shadow ends up running your life. So, for example, you were told you were too outgoing when you were a kid. Quiet down, be good. There's this part of you that suppresses this and rejects it and doesn't think that being loud or outgoing is good for you or good for the world. So you live your life acting shy, not feeling like you can say what you need to say or share the excitement that you have in this outgoing nature that you have. And you show up in the world quiet, and you can reject that part of you for so long. And that will always make you feel incomplete. That will never allow you to fully, authentically be you when that shadow part of you is rejected. So in order to feel wholeness, we need to look at these parts of ourselves and embrace them and love them and tell them they still have space. Come back. You're wanted. I want to feel that excitement and that outgoing piece in my heart. And when we start to love on these parts of ourselves and look in the mirror and be like, I know for a while I did not like this part of me, but I love this part of me. And today and moving forward, I want this part of me to know that. And I want to integrate it again. And I want to step into that part of me that is authentic. And so we can start to just bring love on these parts of ourselves that we have put away. And because that is us, because that is our true self, when we start to bring it back and embody it again, we begin to feel whole. We begin to feel like this is me and I am complete and I don't need to hide parts of me. That helps us to accept who we are and stop putting these masks on for the world that say, I am not outgoing, I'm shy, I don't speak my mind very quickly, I hold myself back, I'm reserved. That's the mask. Whereas the opposite of the mask is absolutely you. I am outgoing. I am wild. I speak my mind on so many things. I have an opinion. This part of me is me. And when we take that mask off, we can start to look at ourselves in the mirror with 10 times more love, because we look in the mirror and we're like, I believe you are showing up every single day authentically. You're loving every part of yourself, every part you've previously rejected. You're loving that now. And that belief, that knowing of my truth in my heart when I look in the mirror, that is wholeness. That is embracing every single part of who you are, your subconscious, your perspective, the personality you have, the being you innately are, and the soul that you are, and the person you came in this life to be. When integrating the shadow and taking our masks off and loving these parts of ourselves, we start to feel more complete. It doesn't just stop here, right? Because we start to pull up these parts of ourselves and we integrate them and we introduce them back into our lives and we love them. We love ourselves. We love every part of ourselves. But life is still happening. And Carl Jung also talks about individuation, which is this lifelong process of integrating all these things, which is not just integrating the self and feeling whole. It's also embracing your light and your shadow at the same time. It's also using our minds, using our hearts, our intuition and our heads at the same time throughout life. You know, we can go through life so logically, make plans, but what we really, really feel is always going to be there. And it's learning to integrate the intuition and the soul and what it wants with the logic of what the truth is of your life, your circumstance, the things that are opportunities for you. So this is the lifelong journey. And all of this is the dance between your conscious mind and what we've been taught, how we grew up, the voice in your head that tells you to do X, Y, Z, and the unconscious mind, the inner world, where your shadows can speak, your blocks can come up, but your intuition also is in there. And the intuition and the subconscious, it's almost like the intuition is there and it's pure and it knows like the deepest, deepest, deepest desires of your world. And it knows what is right for you. It can tell your body in an instant what is right for you. And then the subconscious comes in, and sometimes it can play around with that when we're talking about the connection to the mind, because the subconscious has our wounds, has our blocks. It has these shadow aspects that sometimes we're scared to show to the world. And so the translation from intuition to the mind into actually taking action, we have the subconscious layer that is almost clouding or loving to suppress what our intuition is saying and then allow for the mind to take the action. And wholeness, I believe, is when we start listening to the intuition, to this inner, beautiful soul voice that knows what shadows we've rejected, what unconscious blocks we have. And it says, hey, Lindsay, here's the real thing. Here's the next thing you need to look at. Here's the next desire we want to take action on. Here's the F yes right now. And when we get so good at listening to the intuition, we can bypass and really, and it's not easy, but we can convince ourselves that these subconscious layers that are blocking us are simply that. They're blocking us. And what the intuition tells us to do, that's where we need to put our focus and our energy and convince the mind that the intuition is the only way, because it is. Let's get an example in here so I can get even more clear for you. Let's say you have an intuitive ping that you are, we'll continue with the last example. You are suppressing this outgoing version of you. And you're like, oh, I feel in my body. I want to be on stages. I want to be in big groups of people. I want to speak and share my opinion and teach people, whatever it looks like for you. And this outgoing piece is like begging to be seen. And your intuition's like, I need to take action to do this stuff. So you sign up for a speaking course. You sign up for healing modalities, ways that you can start unblocking the subconscious mind. And you keep coming back to, I know I'm meant to be outgoing. I know I'm meant to let this part of me shine. And the subconscious piece is going to find its way in. The blocks are going to find their way in. No, I'm not worthy. I don't believe I can do this. People are going to judge me. People are going to see me, and it's totally scary and it's not worth it, right? This is the subconscious saying, no, I am not complete. I'm not worthy. The subconscious comes in and it's unspoken. And the mind says, I've done a few classes of this public speaking course. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to do it anymore. Where the intuitive ping was to do it. So we have these other layers that will essentially try to stop us from doing the things that we really, truly, deeply desire, because we are scared, and it comes from fear, and it comes from patterns that we've learned in the past that kept us safe at one point, but it is no longer needed. And so this path to wholeness, we need to always come back to the intuition. We need to always come back to what the heart and the soul voice and that intuitive ping is in your body saying, this is what's meant for me. And this subconscious block, these doubts, me in my head saying I can't do it, put this aside, because wholeness and this alignment in this authentic life is the way. Because who wouldn't want to feel wholeness? It's like this inner stability, this inner foundation of peace and like truly understanding yourself and feeling like you have all the resources you need in the world just inside of you. And it is full acceptance of yourself, self appreciation, self love at its deepest root. Because you know, when you feel whole, you're living in this beautiful authenticity, exactly who you are, and loving all the parts of you. Even when we continue making decisions with our head, can we still love that? We still say, yeah, I'm on my journey. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I still love this part of me. I still love my shadows. I love them because they are me. And I know in my wholeness that I am making steps every single day that are getting me closer and closer to this fully foundational, beautiful me. And when we start to cultivate just that simple, like unconditional love for ourselves, there is wholeness. There's wholeness in that. Once we've gotten here, there's no chasing anything in life. There's no need to prove. There's a fluidity to how you allow your emotions to come in. You don't question them. You're like, oh, I'm in joy right now. Oh, I'm having a moment where my shadow's coming up. It's okay. It's beautiful. It's me. We're not grasping anything outside of us. Not love, not success, not understanding from anyone else, approval from anyone else. We're sitting in this beautiful, rooted, grounded heart space for ourselves that is easily confident in who we are. And the best part about all of this is, I always talk about like looking in the mirror, like, who do you see? Well, when you feel whole, it's pure, full honesty about who we are, how we're showing up, who we're showing up for, how, what intentions. Is it all aligned with our inner world? Are we loving all these parts of ourselves? Are we accepting them? Are we allowing emotions to come in and feeling them and being like, this is what I need to feel right now. This is me. Not having shame, not having doubt about ourselves, feeling whole, feeling worthy, feeling like I am where I am because I am. And that beautiful exchange of energy, it's magnetic. So if there's a part of you wondering, like, how the heck do I get there? We keep doing the work. We keep looking at the parts of ourselves that we don't love and loving them and accepting them and working on them, writing it out, talking to somebody about it, being honest, being vulnerable. Sometimes when you just speak about things, it starts to heal. So find someone you can speak to. And even for me, sometimes when I'm journaling, I will literally hit a nerve and I'll have a tear. And I'm like, oh, goodness, I found another one. And with those tears, I know it's being processed. And on the other side of that is just more love for yourself, more connection to yourself, more radical honesty with yourself. That was something that was sitting with me and needed to be moved. And it's incredible. So I cannot wait to see what unfolds for you. And we will see you next